Youngest siblings. Scrappy in nature, they're born into a world that's already in motion. Always chasing, always proving themselves. They take risks because, well, they have to. They carve out their own space, their own identity, often defying expectations along the way. Baja Norte is Mexico's youngest sibling. A little brother with something to prove, and you can feel it in the way it lives. While older siblings like Mexico City and Oaxaca carry the weight of tradition and centuries of history, Baja Norte leads into its freedom. It's not burdened by the need to follow the rules or live up to an established legacy. Instead, it's unpolished, experimental, and fearless. We started the day at Mercado Hidalgo in Tijuana because for me, there's no better way to ground yourself in a place than at a Mexican market. Growing up, the markets weren't just a destination, they were a heartbeat of the day. They were where families shopped, gossiped, and bartered, where you learned the difference between ripe and too ripe, between fresh and forgotten. Stepping into a market like this with its kaleidoscope of sights and sounds always feels like coming home. Tacos Fito is the kind of place that feels like it's been waiting for you your whole life. No sign announcing its greatness, no line of influencers snapping pictures of their plates, no rush, no pretense. Maybe a little rush. Just a man, his grill, and a quiet understanding of what makes this life worth savoring. The El Camino, part car, part truck, was built to adapt, to do it all. It's a classic for a reason, just like gawa. Once made with sea turtles, this dish evolved with the times, swapping the turtle for manta ray, while keeping its soul intact. Both are rooted in tradition, yet built to endure, proof that some classics just never fade. They just find new ways to move forward. Nobody knows this theme better than Tijuana's native son, Jose Figueroa, chef of La Carmelita, Molino y Cocina. A chef redefining what it means to honor tradition. Jose is all about taking the classics and making them his own. Dry aging fish to intensify flavor and nixtamalizing his own corn. He serves us a tamal like no other. A distinctly norteño creation stuffed with beef, both dried and fresh, black beans and plantains. It's rooted in the old ways, but speaks with his unique voice in the new school.
Damn, it's fucking
Crazy.
After that, we hit the streets and explore what makes Baja Norte's tacos so special. Each one very distinct, very different, but they all share one common thread. Meat kissed by charcoal.
Yeah.
There's something primal about it. The way the fire brings out the depth and smokiness in the meat. From the tamal to the tacos, it's clear that Jose and the cooks of Baja Norte are preserving traditions by not repeating them, but by reimagining them with every bite. Our next stop takes us to Playas de Tijuana, to Mr. Pollo, where the chicken is grilled al carbon. The smoke clinging to every bite. It's simple, honest food elevated by my favorite salsa of all time. A fiery encebollada made with chiltepin and árbol chiles. One bite and the heat hits you like a freight train. It's the kind of spice that leaves you wrecked in the best way. So intense that you might need a cigarette after. Or in this case, a Zin pouch. Because here in Baja, even the simplest taco doesn't hold back. It demands your full attention and maybe a little recovery time too.
No, sir. That's a negative on the Zins.
As the heat of the salsa lingers, we leave the smoky grills of Tijuana behind and head south to Popotla. This little fishing village is a world away, a place where time slows down and the sea provides everything you need. If Tijuana is bold and bustling, Popotla is its laid-back counterpart, offering a quintessential Baja experience. Fresh seafood, straight from the water, cooked steps from where it was caught. It's the perfect antidote to the fire we just faced.
Where you at?
Popotlan.
What do you eat? Do you know what you're eating?
That crab looked pretty good. The one that he showcased in front of me.
Centollo?
Is that what he called?
Yeah, El Marciano they call it too, the Martian.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they basically are. But you dip them in butter and they're delicious, so.
We're at Mariscos España in Popotla, and it's Eric's first time experiencing the magic of Baja Norte. Before sitting down, we head to the counter, pick out our seafood, fresh crab, and rock cod that's practically still glistening from the ocean. As we descend the stairs, we pass Mariscos Estrella, the better-known spot perched above. But España holds a special place in my heart. I've been coming here for years, drawn not only by the food, but by Doña Elvira herself. She's an incredible cook and one of the sweetest people I've ever met. A reminder of how much heart goes into Baja's cuisine. The meal itself is simple yet unforgettable. Crab, tender rock cod al mojo de ajo, and freshly made flour tortillas that feel like they're hugging you from the inside out. Beans and rice round it out, turning a small meal into more than just food. It's a memory, one that's now shared with Eric as he begins to understand why this place and the people around this table have always felt like home to me. Today we're sharing the table with my favorite eating buddies, Jose and Lila Figueroa, Chef Jose's parents. Eric asks them how Jose first got interested in cooking, and they share a story of taking him to a cooking class when he was just a baby. Even then, they say he was quiet, observant, and eager to try new foods, well before he can even talk. It's a small moment that says so much about where Jose's talent comes from. After lunch, we grab some fresh corn tamales dulces for the road and head south to Ensenada.
How was it?
That was really good.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Our first stop is the iconic La Guerrarense, a seafood stand that's been serving Baja's best for decades now. It's become a cornerstone of the city's culinary identity, led by the queen of ceviche herself, Sabina Bandera. Eric orders a cocktail de camarón, refreshing, bright, and classic, while I stick to my usual, a tostada de paté de erizo con almejas. Clams spiked with lime juice served on top of a tostada smeared with an uni pate. We make our way to Husong's Cantina to meet up with my friend Frida, an incredibly skilled bartender and co-owner of Aruba Day Drink in Tijuana. Over a couple of beers, the energy shifts as an off-duty charro takes center stage, effortlessly capturing everyone's attention. For real, hide your tias, cause this dude is coming for them. After a few beers, we make our way to Tacos Phoenix, often called the birthplace of the Baja fish taco. The choose-your-own-adventure topping bar is amazing. Shredded cabbage, creamy salsas, pickled onions. But what really sets them apart is the double fry, giving the fish that perfect crunch. Eric doesn't hold back with ordering 4. He'll need the fuel. I've got an early morning ATV ride planned for him tomorrow.
Is it good?
When I first asked Eric to come on this trip, the first thing I did was look up where we could ride ATVs. In many ways, this day shaped the trip itself. This dude loves 2 things, man: going fast and making his mark. Whether it's tearing through the dunes or pissing off the side of one, I've known him since he was a kid, when he barely knew how to aim. Some things don't change, and honestly, I hope they never do. Fresh off the ATV ride, adrenaline fading, hunger takes over. We stop by Chulada, my friend Alejandro Burgos' spot, a small, unassuming diner serving up the kind of food most Mexican kids grew up with. It's simple, nostalgic, exactly what we need. From there, we head to the pier in Inada, dodging the friendly chaos of servers vying for our attention. Baja feels like the youngest sibling who never tries too hard but somehow steals the spotlight. It's scrappy, bold, and a little rough around the edges, yet undeniably magnetic. It's a place where tradition and reinvention collide, where the past whispers but never shouts. We end the trip at a mirador, staring out at the Pacific, the waves crashing endlessly against the cliffs. It's the kind of view that leaves you quiet, and maybe a little existential. Eric and I joked that if we had to go out, this would be the place to do it. A final act with the best seat in the house. Baja doesn't ask for permission to be what it is, it just exists, unapologetically itself. There's a freedom in that, and one you feel deep in your bones, and it's a feeling that makes you want to stay, or at least always keep coming back.